Well, good morning, my friends. It's Margaret here from M.E.s Orchids, and I thought I'd bring you into the grow room this morning just before I start to water the mounts and give you just a general update on how things are growing. Now, you know, I've had the centre light, which is the grow light, and I've also now got the grow light, which is like an antennae one. There we go, and that fits up on the rod there, and that actually takes in these shelves here and also over here, which is a great improvement. And even if I take you over to that Phalaenopsis there, that no ID, that's getting light there. That's the Alcoglossom there. That loves it. It's on that board there, and it absolutely loves it in that area. Now the next one, which you can only just see the cork board, the back of it, that's the Dendrobium primulinum, and that's now facing the sun. Bear with me a minute. There we go. That's the Thunia bensonii, that's with that new growth there. This is the Cattleya on that shelf there, and that's getting maximum light. And then the other two you can just see there, one in that background, those are named ones. That one in the plastic container there, that's the Leila lobata. And if I turn this one around here and bring it to you, that's the Cattleya Malworth Glade. And we've got one here, that's Tropical Pointer, and that little one there is the Phalaenopsis Parisiae. And that one there on that little scrunchie is the Cattleya that I recently mounted. Sorry about that, I was trying to see if I could read it. And that one up there is the Epicattleya Alatilio Santa Maria. There's that recent acquisition from Ed, the Phragmipedium. And that's M.E.s Orchids. And this one here is the big one, which is the Longiflorum. You can see how far that goes down. And these are some of the other Phragmipediums. This is the white Phalaenopsis, the one that's taken such a long time. It took me about 3 years to get this recovered. And you can see there now the new buds that have formed. So it's got 5 flowers at the moment, and now I think it'll give me several more weeks of blooms. The other big white one, which I call the Three Sisters, I did actually, after 18 months, take that flower inflorescence off, so as to let the goodness, well, let the Phalaenopsis itself have a rest, and then hopefully next year it will give me some new blooms. And this is, of course, this big one here, which I thought maybe that one was going to be a new flower spike. Unfortunately it isn't. It's that's the Miltassia Royal Robe. And there's the other big Phragmipedium. That's Phragmipedium olafgros. And there we've got a Nobly type, which I called Chantilly Lace, but I think that's Spring Dreamer pollen. As you can see, that's coming along now, although that middle bloom up there did get somewhat nibbled by those green caterpillars. Now let's have a look at the humidifiers on. Now it's only 19.9 in the grow room and it's 81% humidity. This last few days it's gone down to 4 degrees centigrade in the evening, and it's gone down to 16 in this room here. So we have now gone into what we call our autumn weather, and we've got a nice couple of days at the moment, but then we're going to go back into another cold spell. And of course that there is the focus, come on, focus, there, that's the Bulbophyllum lobii, and that new growth. Can you see that new growth there? That's found its way just between that wire mesh, so that won't have to be disturbed now. And on this top shelf we're just looking at this Phalaenopsis here, which is giving me these lovely blooms. Let's take you back out a little bit. There we go. And that's the Dendrobium friderixianum, and although it's got a quite withered cane now, it still seems to be alright. Let's have a look what that is. I just wondered what that was on this Phalaenopsis here then. Don't think it was anything. At the weekend I've given them all a calcium feed and some the one that makes the water go black. It'll come to me. I've got brain freeze at the moment, and this one, if you remember, this was one of those that was very badly damaged, and it's got a little bit. The leaves must be very sensitive, and whether or not this one's just easily to mark, I'm not sure. But these are some of the Phalaenopsis that are in the vases, and as you can see, we've got lovely root growth, we've got fantastic leaf growth, even there at the back. That's one I've mounted into that basket because the one I'd got in there, I didn't like it, and that's a rescue one, so I thought, well, I'll put it in there to see whether it'll improve. And let's go down here. These are the other Phalaenopsis, all in very active growth, you can see, with the nice green roots and the new leaves. And this is the one from the lady at work, and look at that. They're all settled now. We're going into that cooler weather, and so we need to have them nice and snug, not too much cold, just enough light. That's the Aspasia there, and that seems to be a lot better now since I've put it in that container, and that gets watered regularly now. These are the Kingianums, all separate now. Which one's this one? Let's have a look. This is Ellen. This one here that I'm showing you now, that's Ellen, and I think that's the other part of Ellen. And this is my Camaridian Prasensis, and I thought this might have been a new flower growth, but I think it's a new pseudobulb. So and these are the little cakeys. That's the Ladder Jessie there, and that's one of the Dendrobium friderixianums. And I'm very tempted to actually put these onto a proper mount. I might do that later today, I'm not sure. That's one there that actually, this used to be under the Bulbophyllum, and I think it's had a drop of water fall on it and it's rotted that top leaf. So there we go in this corner now. And now that's the Epidendrum radicans, and that seems to have been muchly improved since I've put it into a kind of soil mixture, and it's sent out that new growth. Now if I can, that's the, I can show you down there, and that's the bud developing on the Phalaenopsis tetraspis. That one there is the Laelia autumnalis, and that one just absolutely loves this windowsill here in this direct sun. Look at the roots. absolutely wonderful. And this is the one that I moved into this pot, and that's the Sedaria japonica, and since I've moved it in here, this must be its favourite little spot now, because it's sent out lovely green growing roots, and that one's extending there. These are little Dendrobium Friedrichianum, little cakeys, and these are all the dendrobiums now here, and that's Dendrobium a day. That is there is the let me just see if I can squeeze you in somehow without disturbing too much. That's a lamelatum there, getting full sun there, and these here are all now the dendrobiums. To get the maximum light for this time of the year, some of the little ones I've managed to put in between, and there's the Crumamentum there, that big one. This is the Pseudo Lamelatum, one of them. The other one's down on this other shelf. So these are all doing wonderfully. And the other day, as I passed a charity shop, can you see that wooden fixture there? I couldn't believe my luck. I thought, oh, look at that. Now that would be absolutely ideal. And so I've put it just there, and I'll find something to grow up that. It would be absolutely ideal for a Vanda type, but I'm not sure yet. Better to get it and not get it. It was only £1.50, which is a snip. That up there is the I can't see because the label's turned the other way, but that's doing fine upon that one. And of course, you get the light reflection here. That is the that's the Pastoral Innocence, one of the big cattleyas. That is the big Laelia, and that's got it's round the other side, the big new growth. You can just see that there. And that's Pamela Hetherington, that's the other big cattleya. So and that's a cattleya. You can see they're getting the maximum sunlight for this time of the year. And if we pan round over here, we come to the frags, and look at the growths on them. Look at the new growths. Absolutely thrilled to bits. It's got a leaf there, that's just dying back. Well, that's a normal dieback. A little bit of a leaf there, but I don't worry. And this is the Dendrobium pendulum. This is the other big frag. This is Lasverinus, and sorry about that, I'm just going to see if I can see anything down there. Not yet, but you know, maybe soon. And this is the big Coelogyne Burford DNC, and look at the leaf span on that. And that's another one that I put into this type of open basket here, and that's a warm to intermediate, so that's nearest to the radiator there for the winter months, because like I say, it has gone a lot colder in here now, so that's doing wonderfully well. And it will lift you up here, look at the size of that. I'm expecting beautiful flowers this time. This is Dendrobium delicatum, and this is the Dendrobium thraciferorum, and likewise it's got that new came from last year, and this year, and of course this is the big Gracillicauli, and they take up a lot of space on that top shelf, but I'm really pleased at their growth this year. And these are just little no-ID dendrobiums, and that's my Dendrobium maniliform, I need to just trim some of those dead canes off. And that's the other little cakey, not a cakey, the other cut, when I split off the Olaf grass, that's the other one, and I've just put that one down there. I've just put this here, and this is the BLC and 24 karat gold, and that's that new growth there. This is the Sologeny, what this is, Fimbriata. That's the little Pathiopedilum that I brought back from the brink. It's just pushed back in there because when the sun comes round, by about lunchtime, the sun comes through here, hits this shelf which I'm showing you now. There's my Colopa Kingii. So the sun comes through, hits that one, and it hits this one, hence the reason it goes a little bit further back that way. And these are just in this middle shelf here. And there's Stumpy, the little no ID Phalaenopsis, that's coming along fine. Firebird Stardust. I'm not sure what this one is. This is one that I've nearly lost, but oh, that's a Bifrinaria, sweet lime. Now whether that'll ever do anything, I don't know. But and then I've got some African violets underneath. If we go to this one here, that's the Pseudo Lamelatum. That's the Avatar one I call. That sits here and gets a nice sun. That's a Phalaenopsis there, the no, it's not Stewartiana, it's Finleyi. That's the nice Angraecum, Sesquipedale. That's another no ID Sologeny. And that seems to have settled down now. And I've got another Phragmipedium there. And what's that one? Bear with me a minute, let me have a look. Oh, that's Garum Weaver. It's got a new growth there, coming there, can you see? And it gets the sunlight there on that shelf. So, and then we come on to the bottom shelf here. That's a no ID, I just call that Pink Chantilly. It's got this lovely, beautiful new leaf. That is, what's this one? That's part of Ellen. That's Kingianum Ellum, and this is Kingianum Kingzip Red Splash. Now that should have flowered this year, but it didn't do, so I don't know what I've done wrong there. And if I get up now, that of course is the, let me have a look, Dockerelia. As crisp as anything, it needs watering. And if I bring you over here, do you remember the Dendrobium macrophyllum? And I had it on a piece of cork bark. And the other day I thought to myself, if I just go down here now, and is it going to focus again? Oh, no, let's take you back. And it's got that new growth there. Let's take it round now. It's got a new growth there. It's got a new growth there. And I've got this piece of wood in the garage. And it's not the wood that I had last week. And I didn't think it was actually suitable, that other cork bark it was on, and it didn't seem to be happy. It's never been happy since I put it outside and it got the leaves scorched, because this is one that doesn't like the sun. So I thought, well, I'm going to put it on this piece of wood here, and there's another one, you see, very small, but it's got 4 new growths coming, and I'm hoping that now it's on this piece of wood, I've not put it on anything, I've not put it on any sphagnum moss, I've just left it like this excuse me, in the hope that when I water it, it'll retain enough water in those roots. I shall just spray them, and hopefully it'll give me some new root growth. And this one here is there we go. Let me just show you which one it is. And this is, of course, Andean Fire. There's its bloom still. Absolutely lovely, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. And the other one's developing there, can you see it? And I'm not sure whether there's another one tucked in there as well. But that one here. And it just sits on that shelf over there, on the big, shelf over by the windowsill. It's got this new growth, and it's got one coming behind it. So I'm super excited about that. And at last we're going into this winter, dare I say that word, bug free. And it's been a lot of hard work this year, and there's been times when you really do think, is it really worth it? Because you just turn around and then there's something else gone wrong as well, and you just think, oh, I can't cope with all this. But then, if you persevere and take your time, eventually your orchids will settle down, and it's all to do with your environment. And like I say, once you've got that environment right, then they'll romp away. Now this one here is Slogenly Fuscensens, and there's something wrong with this. I keep saying I'm going to have a look. You see, it's had that new growth there. I don't know if you can see that little nubbin of green there. And I put it on this piece of wood, and it's done nothing. And I think there's something up with this. So I'm just going to have to bite the bullet, take it off, and just check whether it's got something, whether it's got Fusarium. I've always, for some reason, been dubious about this one, and I've always watered it separately. So maybe today I'm going to deal with that and have a look at it, and also today I'm going to have a look at this one and see if I can put that into a deeper pot. So thank you for joining me. Oh, let's just see if I can go into that one there. That's the one. The other big Cattleya, Pastoral Innocence, and two of these roots are now have been touched, so they've died back. But there's that new growth, and there's these other new growths developing there. And one of the roots, that big root's gone down into that media there, and we've got that other new root. So, and this is Dendrobium williamsii, and this just catches the sun here. So I think that's it today, folks, and thank you for joining me. There we go. I'll give you a last look round. There we go. So take care. We'll come back soon. Bye bye now.